Hello there, good afternoon. You're watching Good Afternoon Ghana. This is Newsbeat. We're coming to you live from Akua Bohima Studios here at Northridge. My name is Natasha Jamra. Coming up in the bulletin. Ewutu-Senya East Municipal Assembly begins demolition exercise at Kasoa Old Market to pave the way for the development of the area. And the NPP accuses President Mahama of betraying Ghanaians for failing to champion the anti-LGBTQI+ agenda and ensure the passage of the Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Values Bill. Later in Good Afternoon Ghana, we look at the strategy to revamp the Metro Mass Transit Limited as government takes delivery of 100 new fleets. Now the details of the story. Hundreds of traders have been displaced following the demolition of sections of the Kasoa Old Market by the Ewutu-Senya East Municipal Assembly for the redevelopment project. There's more in the following report.
The exercise was carried out by a joint security task force including the military police, immigration and a task force from the assembly following earlier eviction notices issued to traders operating within the affected area. Authorities say the demolition targeted only the portion of the market that had been clearly marked for the redevelopment. The action follows a previous deadline on March 27 given to traders to vacate the designated section. Although some traders failed to comply, the assembly granted a temporary extension to allow trading during the Easter period. With that period over, officials moved in to clear the marked structures. Authorities have reiterated that alternative arrangements have been made for affected traders at the Kasoa Iron City Market, where they are expected to relocate and continue on their businesses. Speaking to the media after the exercise, a member of the Ewutu-Senya East Assembly Engineers, Abdul Mohammed Rahman, speaking on behalf of the MCE, emphasized that the demolition of the marked section is a key step in a broader plan to modernize market facilities and improve trading conditions within the municipality.
The opposite one, paving way for development to prepare over here. But before you start development, already know there are people who have occupied the space. Into what means sorry, then castle or move here. Into what happened is assembly no, in Foko, no Mukasa. Now I am for so I work from you don't move any major stakeholders or more community to move and Mukasa, a mom. That's a movie now, then pave way for development to occur over there. Times a few of them did not have, didn't take it lightly. They were not comfortable with the decision. But when they have to do development, yes, that one is coming. See, assembly also very fair.
For these traders, however, the eviction notice does not make their loss any easier to swallow.
You should showcase the reality on the ground.
Holiday from 10 p.m. So this morning, the different had now by force net was evacuated. But on a proper note, no, and in a good dialogue manner. Nanka at least Yaksemos Muni, okay, a year we after Mokaha. As at now, may Kanamakabium, Nipa over 800. Iron City shares now 100 million pounds. It's taking Nipa 72. Nipa 72, that's a Nipa 800. Airport a day 72. How is that going to be possible? Why Neko?
While traders wonder where their next meal will come from, the assembly is looking at a long-term clock. The municipal fiscal planning officer, Stephen Kakraba, says the new project is a marathon and not a sprint.
For Adrian Yom say be gidi. You have Bronco Nipa Wintongano. Visamba, you are gentle. Say can say, Omuye in your time, Mutumi, Omonyama fine. It is so far so good, no. I think we are also fine. Ma MJ Abba. But the country will say, Omon Koyon sitting, Yashomo. Say you are dole. You want Omaba. nti ɔmo nya vote na ɔmo nkɔ na yɛn kɔ start hɔ na adwuma no
Well, joining us via phone is Stephen Nanayakakraba. He's the Fiscal Planning Officer with the Owutu Senya East Municipal Assembly to discuss the aftermath of the demolition. Hello, sir.
Hello, madam.
Thank you for joining me.
Oh, my pleasure.
So, why was March 27 deadline extended for Easter only for the demolition process to immediately start? Do you think it was unfair and it wasn't a realistic timeline for relocation for the traders?
I think if they are saying it's unfair, then I think I don't know how we can describe fairness. Because if you have been given an eviction notice for 21 working days, which was supposed to expire on the 27th of March, and the assembly has been able to wait till today that the demolition is taking place, I don't think there's nothing like unfairness in what we have done.
Yes, I understand that. But according to the traders, they were given an extension for Easter. And so they would assume or expect that you would tell them another date for the demolition. And this is rather sudden, given as they were given an extension. No?
So we gave them an extension that just after Easter, the demolition will take place. So I don't know why they are still complaining that we have not given them enough time. And clearly, if somebody wants enough time, your enough time that will be given to the traders may not be the enough time that they are looking for. Looking at the time we started the engagement over 6 months ago till now, when will the time be right for us to evict them to allow the redevelopment to take place? So I don't think we have done anything wrong. They are rather trying to delay the progress of work. And I don't think the assembly was in any position to continue waiting.
Okay.
So that is exactly what we have done.
I believe you watched the report. Some of the traders are saying that the new space you've given them can only accommodate 72 traders. And there are 800 that have been, whose facilities have been demolished. How are you going to deal with that?
I think what they are saying is not correct. They are just saying something just to smear lies and stuff on the assembly. Okay. Let me tell you, the Iron City, we have enough space. There were a lot of
numbers. How many can they accommodate?
No,
will it fit the 800 people?
Let me just let you understand this so that your listeners will understand that the information that the traders are giving you are not correct. Okay. First of all, they say they are about 800, but the data that we collected are not even up to the 800 people that they are saying they are.
What was the
and
number?
If you look at the size of Iron City, even if the people are 800, the Iron City alone can contain more than 1,500 people. So what they are saying, I don't know where the truth lies.
Okay.
Normally, when you are relocating people, they find it difficult to move. But when they move, it will be in their best interest. So that's exactly what we have done. Okay. So we have a lot of space in Iron City. So it is in their own interest to go and then start doing their business there.
Okay. According to the Assembly's data, how many people have been displaced right now?
So far, our list that we have, the people that have been displaced are less than 200.
Less than 200?
Yes.
And the new space can accommodate 1,500 people?
Yes, the new shop can accommodate over 1,000 people. So if they are saying they are 800, they should bring us the list that will contradict what we have.
Okay. Are there any measures being put in place for the meantime while they relocate to make sure that they get something to feed their families? Will they be given any kind of compensation?
No, the compensation that the assembly will give them is the new shop that we have built, and we are asking them to go there because we gave them ample time to relocate. If you are living on somebody's land temporarily and the person has asked you to relocate, there's nothing like compensation.
Okay, what process?
We don't have any compensation to give them as we speak. The only compensation we have is the nice place in Iron City that we have designed for them to go and start with their business.
Okay, what process do they have to go to move? How does one know that this is my stall or this is where I'm supposed to locate to? Has that been communicated to them?
Yes, we've communicated it to them through their leadership, and their leadership were even at the shop before even the Easter break to do the allocations for them. So those who are claiming they have no place to go means that they are the difficult ones, and they didn't want to contact their leaders for them to have a place to stay. So they are the ones that are complaining. But for the assembly, we know that we have done our best. We have allocated places for them. So those who have no place, they should contact the assembly, and then we'll get in touch with their leadership, and we'll give them a place to stay.
Okay, thank you so much for speaking to Metro News. We've been speaking to Stephen Nanayaka Kraba, who is the Fiscal Planning Officer with the Ewutu Senya East Municipal Assembly, basically saying that they have enough space for the new market, the Iron City market, to accommodate about 1,500 people, which is significantly larger than the 200 people that are currently displaced. Well, moving on. The New Patriotic Party has accused the Mahama-led government of abandoning the course of the anti-LGBTQ+ bill. At a press conference, one of the bill sponsors, Reverend John Ntim Fojuo, says President Mahama has reneged on his promise to ensure the bill's passage. There's more.
To the headquarters of the New Patriotic Party on behalf of the leadership of our great party, we have called you here today to address a matter of grave national importance, a matter that exposes the highest order of political deceit, hypocrisy, and double standards by President John Dramani Mahama and the ruling National Democratic Congress, NDC. For years, the NDC weaponized the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, using it as a political tool to deceive eminent clergy, our imams, our revered traditional leaders, and the good people of Ghana. Today, having secured power through this grand deception, President Mahama and his government have seamlessly shifted their stance, abandoning the very cause they championed so loudly in opposition. The grand deception the opposition faced pre-2025. Let us take a walk down memory lane. When the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill was introduced in 2021 as a private member's bill, there were 8 sponsors. I stood proudly as a sponsor, alongside 7 members of the NDC, my colleagues in Parliament, Honorable Sam Nate George, Honorable De La Soa, Honorable Emmanuel Kwesi-Bedzra, Honorable Alhassan Suhini, Honorable Rita Odole Soa, Honorable Helen Adwa Ntonso, and Honorable Roxanne Nelson Dafiamepo in 2021. We did so out of deep conviction, recognizing that the bill reflects the desires, culture, and religious beliefs of the overwhelming majority of Ghanaians. During this period, the NDC's position was firmly supported and politically assertive. My colleagues from the NDC saw this not just as a moral imperative, but as a potent political weapon. They engaged the streets of Accra, our communities, the media, religious leaders, civil society groups, and traditional rulers, our imams, our pastors, and portrayed the MPP government at the time as indecisive and disconnected from Ghanaian moral values. During the 2024 election campaign, the then candidate John Dramani Mahama explicitly pledged to sign the bill into law when voted into power. He went as far as accusing former President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, of delaying the bill's assent due to dependence on foreign aid. Mr. Mahama boldly declared that if Ghana were self-reliant, no foreign entity could dictate our laws. He presented himself to Ghanaians and the Ghanaian voter as the ultimate, uncompromising defender of our family values. Now to the shift, an early period in power, 2025. However, the moment the NDC assumed power in 2025, the narrative began to change. The strong rhetoric of opposition was quickly replaced by procedural caution. In January 2025, when the Catholic Bishops' Conference met with President Mahama to urge him to pass the bill, he signaled his intent to introduce fresh government-sponsored legislation that would more strictly and more comprehensively address the practices and promotion of LGBTQ and its related activities in Ghana. On another occasion, in contrast, while addressing the clergy, President Mahama declared the previous bill, quote-unquote, effectively dead because it had expired with the 8th Parliament. He argued further that moving forward, in quotes, and I quote, probably shouldn't be a private member's bill. It probably should be a government bill with government behind it after consultation with all stakeholders. End of quote. This was the first clear signal of a shift from rhetoric to risk management. Faced with the realities of governance, including risk to the World Bank and IMF funding, as well as constitutional challenges, the NDC government moved from push the bill at all costs to manage how it is introduced and structured. As recent as November 2025, during a courtesy visit by the Christian Council of Ghana to the Jubilee House, President Mahama reaffirmed his administration's opposition to same-sex marriage and pledged to sign the bill if it were passed by Parliament. He looked at religious leaders in the face and stated,
We'll bring you more on Good Afternoon Ghana, so do enjoy the rest of the show. Now, moving on, Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiamo, speaking at the 129th Monetary Policy Committee press briefing early March 2026, confirmed the sale of over 19 tons of gold generated profit, stating that the transaction made a profit over $1.3 billion and is all within our international reserves. Now, speaking on Good Morning Ghana, MP for Yendi Abdul Fattah Al-Hassan commended the current administration, while communication team member of NPP, Alfred Thompson, questioned the credibility of the provided figures.
Saying that you should not make losses. But we are saying that if you are making us losses, let's have something to show for the losses you are making. Today, yes, we may have recorded just 214 million US dollar. We are currently talking about a CD to dollar rate, which has been highly stable, one, and it has increased over 40% in the last 18 months, if you like, or if you like 15 months. You understand? And so there's something to show for whatever loss we have. So if you even convert 214 US dollars into cedis, you are getting like 2.something billion. So it should tell you that we have a better system at hand today than we came to meet.
Right.
You had losses throughout, and there was nothing to show for it. Today we are told, with the current profits that are being posted by banks, that commercial banks are making 100% profits, 100%. And you are seeing it. AGB has just processed theirs. GCB, they are making profit. NIB, which was basically on its needs, is currently up and running. And so, these trade losses, and if you look at it, it was necessary to secure us where we are. And remember, when we introduced the gold board, our objective was not to make profit. Our objective was to generate enough foreign reserve to strengthen the city.
So when Kufu was leaving office, how much was it? How many tons did we have at BOG? It was 8. Throughout the 8 years of NDC, they didn't even add 1 ton to it. At that time, the current governor was the deputy governor of the bank. He was the deputy governor. And they didn't add 1 ton of gold. You come and at a critical situation where, under the good initiative, they've added tons to over 30% tons of gold reserves for critical and emergency situation. You think we didn't know that you can also, sell the gold and make, get the stabilization of the city. Today we talk about the stabilization of the city. Cement bag, in our time, even though the city was at 14 Ghana cedis to $1, cement bag was about $6.08 per bag. Today, you are talking about a rate of, you bought it at a very good rate of about 11.5. Cement bag is over $10. You are telling me that you've done what? You can juxtapose and jargon all the figures, but it will expose you. When you look at the figures, when you continuously study the figures, when we came this morning, what were we looking at? Wasn't it interest rates? And what were the interest rates telling us? That even though you have, what do you call it? You have the prime rate of 15.5%. We are talking of interest rates between 21, that is the least, to about 34%. That the banks are giving out. Go and check.
President John Dramani Mahama has called for an emergency cabinet meeting to address the sharp rise in fuel prices, which has been triggered by the ongoing conflict in Iran and the broader Middle East region. He revealed at the just-ended Kwewu Business Forum in the Eastern region.
Delivering the keynote address on the second day of the Kwewu Business Forum on Saturday, April 4, 2026, President Mahama stated that the meeting aims to explore practical measures to cushion Ghanaians from the impact of the soaring fuel prices.
This economy is more resilient than it was in the past. So I can confidently tell you that the economy is not going to crash because of the war. I've called for an emergency cabinet meeting to decide some measures we can take to cushion the petroleum price while we expect that the war comes to an end. There are some tweaking we can do in terms of levies and margins and other things in order to maintain a stable price while we pray that the war comes to an end. I want to express my sincere...
President Mahama further assured the public that the government has implemented measures to build a resilient economy capable of withstanding external shocks such as the Middle East conflict.
We are all concerned about what is happening in Iran and Israel. It has led an increase in petroleum prices from $68 per barrel to almost $120 per barrel. And so the low fuel prices we used to enjoy, which was about 10, 11 cedis per liter, has suddenly gone up. For petrol, it's 13 point something, and for diesel, I see 15 point something, 16. We're all praying that that conflict will come to an end sooner than later.
Meanwhile, some local businesses participating in the Kwewu Business Forum exhibition say the government's 24-hour economy policy could help private enterprises expand and create more jobs for the youth. They share their views with Metro and Original TV News.
You know, people complain that properties in Ghana here are very expensive. And as you rightly mentioned, if we can have some form of subsidies or sponsorships or let's say some kind of financial backings that can make us come up with affordable houses, affordable homes, I think it will really help a lot, because at the end of the day, it's about the cost of the properties all comes down to the inputs, what goes into the property itself. If the estate spends so much to put up the property, then at the end of the day, the cost is transferred to the final consumer. So if you can have some form of subsidies, I think it will really help a lot in making homes more affordable here in Ghana.
Okay, so I'm thinking that, you see, when the government is able to collaborate with the private industries as well, it will help us, because we know the private industries are the industries that bring sustainability to Ghana. You know, if you collaborate with this housing deficit, you know the housing deficit we have in Ghana, when you're able to collaborate with the private sectors and we partner with the public sectors to provide affordable but luxury homes, I think it's going to help the economy, because it will reduce the housing deficit that we are facing in Ghana currently.
I believe the government is already working on that with the 24H incentive they are bringing on board, which looks at private sectors like ourselves. So they have a couple of policies on that, which looks at the tax and then some relievement for companies like ours, which I think is a great initiative.
I've gone to 24-hour economy, and we are waiting for the government to consider us and giving us support so that we can buy the machines and then they do printing by ourselves. Right now, I'm sourcing them from printers and then the other printing press.
You know, I always say that told us to preserve our culture. And Kente is one of our greatest culture. And we've preserved it, but I have seen that preservation is killing. They are killing it. We are killing it ourselves. We are not preserving it. So we have to now purchase and use Kente more so that it will be attractive to the international market. And as you can see now, because we've preserved it and we are not using it ourselves, the white or the Chinese have been able to print Kente fabric and sell to us.
The Kowo Business Forum is an annual platform designed to connect local entrepreneurs, investors, and policymakers to promote businesses, drive investment, and shape policies that support economic growth.
Let's move on to the Central region, and the people of Salt Pond in the region have organized an Easter Fest Expo to showcase the community's rich cultural heritage. The initiative was spearheaded by the Infantaman Salt Pond Development Alliance, a group of young professionals uniting to restore the town's lost glory. The Victoria Park in Salt Pond was a scene of vibrant activity as the Infantaman Salt Pond Development Alliance hosted its maiden Easter Fest Expo. The initiative, led by Ernest de Graft, aims to bring young professionals together to revitalize the economic and social fabric of the historic town. The event was chaired by a prominent native of Salt Pond, Engineer Dan Kwabnaman Samano, and attended by traditional leaders, the Member of Parliament from Infantaman, Prince Ebenezer Kojo-Wahine, and various security commanders. Historically, Salt Pond was a crucial hub for Ghana's independence movement and home to the nation's first oil field. However, many iconic monuments, including Hammond Hall, where the UGCC was founded, and the 33 steps leading to Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's frequent lodging at Canaan Lodge, now sit in a state of neglect. Founder and president of MSDA, Ernest de Graft, noted that while Salt Pond holds immense potential as a tourism destination, development has been slow. He believes the Easter Fest Expo will serve as a platform for entrepreneurs to showcase their products and attracts the investment needed to resurrect the city.
If you know the history of Salt Pond, our town, we are highly educated. All we do is go to school. So average in Salt Pond, everybody is educated. We have some few who are not. But even those guys are the leading artisans here, carpenters, fitters, welders, official folks. You know, so I can tell you that we are ready. That's notwithstanding. The MSDA, the organization I head, we have programs in place to begin to start skill development programs for the youth of Salt Pond.
He also commended the government's slide in skill mining royalties, describing it as a landmark decision. He further revealed that his organization is proactively training local artisans to ensure the youth are prepared for employment opportunities once lithium begins in the Infantaman area.
We have a government or president who has listened to the CSOs and has implemented, starting with the lithium, from 5 to 12%. I think that for me is the best. It's the best, one of the best leadership decisions for a president and for a country. And it's not in any way to deprive the mining companies of any gains. The moment the world prices go down, the sliding scale slide down. When the prices go up, it slide up. So at the point the country gains, at the point the country loses. It's far better than hitherto the 5% that the country was taking.
The Member of Parliament encouraged the public to support local entrepreneurs and expressed optimism about the future of the district.
As entrepreneurs, what are we presenting as people that will sell the mining items in the community? And what is it that will attract people to patronize the community? So our responsibility is to create a platform where you will come and showcase your goods and services so we can advocate and direct traffic.
As curtains fall on this maiden expo, the message from Salt Pond is clear. The youth are ready, the history is rich, and the path to development is being paved. Despite the directive from government urging a halt to the planned price hike of sachet water to 15 cedis per bag, uncertainty remains on the ground as retailers respond differently. Metro News hits the ground to assess whether the new pricing has already taken effect.
Buying pure water, 1 cedi, is not a good thing. Automatically is killing us. Not me alone, Not me alone, but buying pure water, 1 cedi.
Did you buy someone?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yesterday, I bought 1 cedi 2 times, which means 2 cedis. But automatically, at the other side, I bought it 50 pesos. So which means here, you took galam sewa.
Me buy no. Me kwa use you know when you no kaja me say. Ono no to car na enra 10 cedis. Nto be ya ma me 12 cedis. 12 cedis nso me turn 50 pesos na. Me so me nya hwe. Nti 1 cedi na na nka ese yenton no. Ana se 70 pesos. 70 pesos nso 20 pesos na wo de ba ma obi no. Bebre nje. Me say amegina ono me ma obi. Sa 20 pesos no what bo me ka de anka yi mani nkosua. Eda ne ntokwa. Enti say sa 20 pesos no de say abamba hwe wo na wa ye hu bibia. Na say nsuo no na e be san agina o price na anka e be ye me de pa.
Ashame wa 37 bus stop. Me ti say e be to pure water bet yang tu. Me ton pure water me dey share fridge. Me yi ma wo mo ni ma me 8 cedis. I me dey am mo 10 cedis. Still sa na e ton no yan tu me.
What to say? Omo Tony bi no man so mu dey mu ana.
Da pin pa cho bi an tu me. Omo nyina wa bi an tu me pure water me. Abonti dey no to be fine no me call Madina me ba no. Me do airport no bi ase oni pure water because me nim so one person mutum na one person beton there. No bi ase bottle water. Bi ase bottle water anti I had a million two way. Sandy told me.
Fine, the sign of Muchi. If it was the same price.
And that me conference in me buy some babeton. Na profo bebre ka say me ntum because omatum. Omo top bag no 10 cedis. But the amount 12 cedis. And I say me side in the omo ntum way. Nti me dey 50 pesos. But ebi no so say ya tum ntum omo dey 1 cedis.
Which shop at home na say?
Me person bet 50 pesos na ye. Why?
I have to say to mudi 20 pesos sank from someone.
And they be na
amount. It's only 50 pesos. It's just like 1 cedi.
Then anye we 50 pesos na no ayo okay.
Well, that's the end of the bulletin. Desmond Okreku is here to continue with Good Afternoon Ghana. Hi, Desmond.
Hi, Natasha, how are you doing? How's your holiday? It was actually a very long weekend.
Yes, yeah. It was relaxing.
Relaxing,
yeah.
Right. The next holiday is going to be on the 1st of May, so until then,
I cannot wait.
We're here for God and country. Thank you very much for bringing us the news updates there, Natasha Jamra. My name is Desmond Okreku Danso, and we're on till 2 p.m. We'll be discussing a lot of the topics that have come up in the past few days, and crucial amongst them is the NPP's presser that was held this morning, talking about the hypocrisy of the John Mahama-led administration on LGBTQ issues. Remember that the president met CSOs somewhere last week, and the question was posed to him, and he mentioned that the issues regarding LGBTQI+ are not priority right now. It's not a priority for him right now, and it brought about a lot of conversations, and we will be hearing from Reverend Tim Fojo of the NPP, and also we'll connect with the Whole West MP Manuel Bejura on this also. And then we'll go to Kaswa, where there's a situation where we need to talk about where some market women are not happy that the assembly is moving them from their current place to another market. They say that they're not happy about that. We'll get some updates on that. And of course, the Metro Mass Transit Limited has mentioned to us that, in fact, it was the Minister for Government Communications who put across that 100 EV buses are coming in for the Metro Mass. Would hear from the CEO or the MD for Metro Mass on what is to be expected in terms of these buses coming in. What is the policy direction for the buses? Remember that we spoke to him a few weeks ago where he mentioned that by the end of the year, about some 500 EV buses should be in the country to help with the shortages that we had faced a few months ago. So these are the topics we'll be touching on right here on the show. So do want to stay with us. We're live on Facebook at Metro TV Ghana. Also DSTV channel 277. We're live on there. And also on 94.1 FM on radio. My name again is Desmond Okrekudanso. So let's listen to Reverend Intim Fojo as he addressed that presser organized by the New Patriotic Party on the LGBTQ plus issues.
To the headquarters of the New Patriotic Party on behalf of the leadership of our great party, we have called you here today to address a matter of grave national importance, a matter that exposes the highest order of political deceit, hypocrisy, and double standards by President John Dramani Mahama and the ruling National Democratic Congress, NDC. For years, the NDC weaponized the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, using it as a political tool to deceive eminent clergy, our imams, our revered traditional leaders, and the good people of Ghana. Today, having secured power through this grand deception, President Mahama and his government have seamlessly shifted their stance, abandoning the very cause they championed so loudly in opposition. The grand deception the opposition faced pre-2025. Let us take a walk down memory lane. When the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill was introduced in 2021 as a private member's bill, there were 8 sponsors. I stood proudly as a sponsor alongside 7 members of the NDC, my colleagues in Parliament, Honorable Sam Nate George, Honorable De La Soa, Honorable Emmanuel Kwesi-Bedzra, Honorable Alhassan Suhini, Honorable Rita Odole Soa, Honorable Helen Adwa Ntonso, and Honorable Roxanne Nelson Dafiamepo in 2021. We did so out of deep conviction, recognizing that the bill reflects the desires, culture, and religious beliefs of the overwhelming majority of Ghanaians. During this period, the NDC's position was firmly supported and politically assertive. My colleagues from the NDC saw this not just as a moral imperative, but as a potent political weapon. They engaged the streets of Accra, our communities, the media, religious leaders, civil society groups, and traditional rulers, our imams, our pastors, and portrayed the MPP government at the time as indecisive and disconnected from Ghanaian moral values. During the 2024 election campaign, the then candidate John Dramani Mahama explicitly pledged to sign the bill into law when voted into power. He went as far as accusing former President, His Excellency Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, of delaying the bill's assent due to dependence on foreign aid. Mr. Mahama boldly declared that if Ghana were self-reliant, no foreign entity could dictate our laws. He presented himself to Ghanaians and the Ghanaian voter as the ultimate, uncompromising defender of our family values. Now to the shift, an early period in power, 2025. However, the moment the NDC assumed power in 2025, the narrative began to change. The strong rhetoric of opposition was quickly replaced by procedural caution. In January 2025, when the Catholic Bishops' Conference met with President Mahama to urge him to pass the bill, he signaled his intent to introduce fresh government-sponsored legislation that would more strictly and more comprehensively address the practices and promotion of LGBTQ and its related activities in Ghana. On another occasion, in contrast, while addressing the clergy, President Mahama declared the previous bill, quote-unquote, effectively dead because it had expired with the 8th Parliament. He argued further that moving forward, in quotes, and I quote, probably shouldn't be a private member's bill. It probably should be a government bill with government behind it after consultation with all stakeholders. End of quote. This was the first clear signal of a shift from rhetoric to risk management. Faced with the realities of governance, including risk to the World Bank and IMF funding, as well as constitutional challenges, the NDC government moved from push the bill at all costs to manage how it is introduced and structured. As recent as November 2025, during a courtesy visit by the Christian Council of Ghana to the Jubilee House, President Mahama reaffirmed his administration's opposition to same-sex marriage and pledged to sign the bill if it were passed by Parliament. He looked our religious leaders in the face and stated, "Marriage is between a man and a woman," in quotes. "A person's gender is determined at birth. The family is the foundation of our nation," among other things. Yet behind the scenes, the urgency has already evaporated. The current reality, the strategic distancing of President Mahama and the NDC in 2026. Today in 2026, we see the final phase of this grand deception. The NDC government has moved away from active championing of the LGBTQ bill to a cautious, deprioritized, and process-driven approach. On March 31st, 2026, President Mahama made a shocking declaration during his engagement with civil society groups at the Jubilee House. He stated that this government remains focused on, quote, basic needs, and that the bill, which seeks to clip the wings of LGBTQ activities, is no longer a priority. Shocking, no longer a priority. We must ask President Mahama, were these basic needs he refers to not present between 2021 and 2024, when he and his party weaponized LGBTQI propaganda to win votes? Did Ghana not need roads, jobs, education, infrastructure, hospitals, and many other needs, when he traversed the country promising the clergy, the imams, traditional rulers, and the general public that he would sign the bill with alacrity and utmost priority? That's a question Ghanaians are asking President Mahama. What has changed? Have our basic needs changed between 2024 and now? To advocate so aggressively for a policy in opposition, only to dismiss it as a low priority once in government, is the height of hypocrisy and deception. Furthermore, President Mahama has been playing a dangerous double game. As the African Human Rights Coalition aptly noted on March 28, 2026, and I quote, President John Dramani Mahama has presented two faces to the world, one tailored for Ghanaian voters at home, and another carefully curated for American audiences abroad. While promising Ghanaians at home that he supports the bill in principle, he travels abroad and sings a completely different tune. Standing before the American institutions, his certainty dissolves into procedural language, deflection, and appeals to the democratic process. Today, the president hides behind the fact that it is a private member's bill to wash his hands off it, outlining and citing constitutional pathways to delay or reject the legislation. It is no wonder that Lincoln University rightfully cancelled his honorary doctorate. Even the international community sees through this strategic doublespeak. The ultimate betrayal, the smuggling of LGBTQ into our schools, rather very disappointing. Perhaps the most devastating contradiction of all lies in the NDC's approach to our educational system, which is the smuggling of the LGBTQ agenda into our schools. In that same January 2025 engagement with the Cali Bishop Conference, President Mahama proposed an alternative to legislation. He argued that if Ghanaian family values were taught in our schools, put in the curriculum, there would be no need to pass any bill to enforce such values. He explicitly promised to review the curriculum to ensure that our values are prominent, stating, and I quote, more than even the values and more than even the family values bill, it's us agreeing on a curriculum that inculcates these values into our children as they are growing up so that we don't need to legislate it. End of quote. Ghanaians took him at his word. But what did President Mahama and his government...
Right, so there you had Reverend Johnny Timfordjour of the NPP addressing us on the topic that the NPP chose, the hypocrisy of the NDC on LGBTQ plus issues. And he mentioned during his speech that he laid this before Parliament with 7 others, and that includes the Whole West MP Emmanuel Kwesi-Bedzrah, and he joins us now on phone to talk about this. What really has changed for him as a person? Has anything changed? Well, we'll get to hear from him in a bit. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for joining us here on Good Afternoon, Ghana.
Afternoon, and good afternoon to your cherished viewers and listeners on Good Afternoon, Ghana.
Great. Your colleague, Reverend Timfordjour, just spoke. He's asking questions. He's saying that it is hypocritical of the president and the government, especially with what the president mentioned last week when he met the CSOs, that this is not a priority for him. What's your thoughts about what your colleague had to say, knowing that you're one of the members that sponsored this bill in Parliament a few years ago?
Well, let me first of all say I'm really disappointed at my colleague, Reverend Timfordjour, for all the harsh words that he used on the presidency and the NDC party. I believe that he has used the same harsh words on his former president and the NPP party when the bill was passed by Parliament. I'm sure the president would have assented to it at that time. Having said the composition of those who passed the bill in 2024 were 8 members, 7 from the NDC stock, and he was the only person because his other colleagues sticking out. So he was the only person from the NPP stock. And I can tell you, my brother, that throughout the deliberation in the House, including the consideration stage, I did not see my brother there until the bill was passed. So he was just in name as a sponsor of the bill. What has changed? Why, if you were a minister of state at that time, a deputy minister for that matter of education, why didn't you go to the president and say, Mr. President, as a member of your party, Ghanaians or NDC people are using this. Why don't you assent to it? Because I believe that this is the way to go. Why now? And today, as we speak now, 10 members have appended their signature to it as he read the name. 4 of us are from the majority side, and the 6 of them are from the minority side. Now, the same 4 of us are the same people who were in Parliament who supported it. The likes of Sam George, myself, Rita Na Odelesoa, and then Adjoa Ntoso. We were the same people who pushed the bill. If we do not believe in the bill, if NDC party does not believe in the bill, if the president has not given us the go ahead, we will not have assented to it. We will not have appended our signature on it. So I'm really surprised that my friend, whether he's looking for a fame, he wants to use this to make himself known by his party or to throw that into the minds of Ghanaians, I cannot tell. It is rather unfortunate that Johnny Timfordjour is allowing himself, Honorable Reverend, who allow himself to be dragged into this like this. He's not that kind of person that I know. I have been telling them, or even on our platform, that this is a bipartisan bill. It's not a bill that is for one person or one group of people. We had a Catholic Bishops' Conference, we had a Charismatic and a Pentecostal Council, we have the Christian Council, we have the Muslim and Islamic clerics, as well as chief imams office supporting us. We have even the traditional authority, the chiefs and the traditional authorities supporting us. So why should we, 2 parties, NPP, NDC, dragging this whole bill into a political fray? I believe that it's time for us to look at it passionately as Ghanaians and know that this current government, His Excellency John Mahama, has given his word. That is why some of us are prepared to do it. Initially, as he mentioned in his earlier submission, he wanted it to become a public bill, not a private member's bill. It is we who are in a hurry that we pass it already. We just want it to be assented to. But because there's a lapse in the 8th Parliament, we decided to bring it back. It was late this year, as you all know. The bill was late this year. And I can assure you that the committee that the bill was referred to, that's the legal committee, has called us that they wanted to engage as the promoters of the bill so that we can, tell them our perspective. And the report will be laid, to the House, and then the House will debate it, and then we'll continue from there. So why is he in a hurry? What is making him think that John Mahama will not sign the bill? What at all does he want from this bill? We believe that it is against our culture. The traditional councils are against it. The Christian communities are against it. The Muslim communities are against it. And therefore, it is our duty to make sure that this bill sees the day of light, the light of day. And if we pass it, and the president does not assent to it, that is left with the Ghanaians to decide, not us. We will pass it and we'll give it to the president. And then we'll see whether the president, meant well through his word or from what Fojo is saying that he's being hypocritical. I believe, and I have an assurance that the president will assent to it because I heard him on couple of times that he will assent to it. He doesn't believe in the LGBT community. He believes in our moral values. He believes in the culture and the sanctity of Ghanaian and African culture.
Honorable Bejra, if you'd allow me, so I can ask a few questions. And taking it from what your colleague mentioned during this presser, he's asking that what has changed, because you mentioned that, well, it started a few years ago where he was Deputy Education Minister, so he could have gone to the president. And so that is why the NPP, I'm sure it was one of the key things that got them booted out of government. And during that period, President Mahama, as he is now, then a candidate, it was one of the things that always came up during conversations with people, and even for the NDC also, it always came up that when we come, we are going to make sure that this bill goes through and it is signed. And so if a question like that is asked of the president, that what are we doing? And then the president now says that it is not a priority now, do you not think that you're letting the people down, the people that you mentioned to them, that the NPP are afraid to do it, and so when you come in, you do it? Is that not a question legitimate of him to ask?
My simple answer is, have we passed the bill for the president to assent to it, and he has not assent to it? The president will not come to Parliament and force us to pass the bill. It's the work of Parliament to pass the bill.
Right.
After passing the bill, if the bill gets the presidency and the president does not assent to it, that's when these questions will arise. This particular question does not arise at all.
It has not been passed by Parliament yet, but as the leader of government, the way it was said, it came out as though, well, it's not something that I want to take a look at now.
My brother, all we have to do is to pass it. Let's pass it quickly, and when we get there, we'll cross it. Some as people used to say that when we get to the bridge, whether we'll cross it or not cross it, we will know. So let's pass it in Parliament, and then. But I'm disappointed in my colleague that the bill has not been passed in Parliament. We have not pushed that we should go through all the processes in Parliament, and then you are holding, fire because the president said something. Which Akufo-Addo, has he not said a lot of things? He did not even allow the bill to get to Jubilee House. He stopped the bill on the way against the Constitution of Ghana. What did he just said? Was it not the same Akufo-Addo who went to Pediatric Law to tell the diplomats that somebody was taking the bill to court against the Constitution? What did we do as Ghanaians? We didn't do anything. Now, as you speak, now the bill has not even been passed. It just been presented as first reading. We are yet to take the second reading, the consideration before they pass it. So I don't think we are there yet.
When the president made the statements as he met the CSOs, what did you make of it? Do you think that it assured Ghanaians that this is something he will look at?
And I'm telling your authority that the president will attend to it.
Okay. Honorable, a few weeks ago or months ago, you said that if this is not passed, you're not coming back into Parliament. Are you still standing by that?
I stand by my word because I believe in this bill. I believe in one thing, that if you believe it yesterday, you must believe it today. I'm not the type of person who changes my mind. I'm a principled person. I believe that it's not right for a man to marry a man. It's not right for a man to marry his own daughter. It's not right for a man to change his sexual orientation. And no, I don't believe in that. I believe in the sanctity of what God has given us. And so I stand by that. If it's not passed in the House, I'll not return to the House.
Should we expect the bill to go through all the processes in the House?
Of course. I'm telling you that by May, actually return by May, we'll get it through. Because we've done almost all the work. It is the same bill that we brought back. So what bill are we going to look at again? But because we must fulfill all righteousness by going through the process, we will do it.
Okay. Honorable Bedzrah, we would definitely come back to this
Thank you very much.
When Parliament resumes. So you hear that the Ho West MP and a sponsor of the bill, that is that has become the topic now. And as we are discussing here on the show, he says that he is actually disappointed in his colleague, Reverend Ntim Fordjour, for the things that he said earlier at the presser. And we will see how it goes. So the Proper Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, he says that it's been laid before Parliament before, so there's not much to do. When Parliament comes back from recess, it is one of the things that they will be looking at as to whether the NDC are letting Ghanaians down on this particular conversation. He says that he knows, the president has mentioned, he knows that the president will assent to the bill if it's passed by Parliament. So let's hear what you think on our social media handles, Metro TV Ghana, also on DSTV channel 277. You can watch us live on there. On X, we are live on there also, that you can share with us your thoughts here on the show. In a bit, we'll be getting to the managing director for the Metro Mass Transit, lawyer Caesar. We'll be asking him about the new buses that have come into town and what is to be expected of them. How would they be, used, in town and all of that. So we'll get into that conversation also. But for this conversation on the LGBTQ+, you can share your thoughts with us on our social media handles at Metro TV Ghana. You can join us live on there and be part of the conversation. This is Good Afternoon Ghana on Metro TV with me, Desmond Okwekudan. So let me get on to the socials and see if there is any conversation that people are sending to us. We'll definitely see to that. We're going to take a break first. When we come, we will continue with the conversation right here on Good Afternoon Ghana. Stay with us.
March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. Have you attained 45 years and older? Notice blood in your stool, a family history of cancer? Then don't wait to have a colonoscopy. Early detection of cancer and effective treatment save lives.
There are weak points in the development and spread of cancers of the large bowel that will have control over to stop, to reduce the incidence and deaths from these cancers. Achieving this success depends on you and me. We are fully prepared. What about you?
Visit Mintuba Hospital and Coloproctology Center today or call us. Mintuba Hospital, First Ghana Colorectal Center, in to serve a peculiar health need.
Looking for comfort, convenience, and class all in one place? Welcome to Stay Easy Apartments on Conference Center, where modern living meets exceptional service. Whether you're staying for business or leisure, Stay Easy offers you a home away from home. Spacious and well-furnished apartments, pool, gym, and everything you need to relax and feel at ease. Planning a meeting, workshop, or special event? Our event ground and state-of-the-art conference center is designed to host your events and bring your vision to life. From corporate gatherings to private functions, we provide the perfect space, supported by modern equipment and a professional team ready to assist you. At Stay Easy, your comfort and success are our priority. Book your stay or reserve your space today. Call us at 020-739-1473 or 0244-226367. Stay Easy Apartments and Conference Center. Stay easy with us.
Hey, Banty, why you there? Well, lie, tell her today go give me my money.
Oh, my guy, what's up? Oba unze me dinna dede baby. Scano ASA 500 cedis per. Ah.
I see. Level don't change. But to show me the way.
But there's some sorry Amanua. Talk to babe.
¿Quieres ganar dinero?
Huh?
Cash.
Yes, cash.
Let me show you the easy way to make money with OneShot. Visit the WannaOwn website at wannaown.us. Sign up with your phone number and get ready to play. Select games on the homepage and then select OneShot game. Deposit to make an entry, then pick a number from 0 to 99. If your number comes up, you win a cool 500 cedis.
Hey, so it'll be easy like that.
Just like that.
So I'll go buy my dream car.
Por supuesto. Just visit wannaown.us and win some cool cash prizes.
Baby. Boom! You be too much.
Play responsibly. Gaming can be addictive. Accredited and endorsed by the Gaming Commission of Ghana.
Welcome back to Good Afternoon Ghana here on Metro TV with me, Desmond Okrekodan. So we're live on 94.1 FM on the radio, also on Facebook at Metro TV Ghana, DSTV channel 277. We're live on there and also on the multi-TV Digibox. Now we're getting into a conversation that was made our way to the public about 2 days ago from the Minister for Government Communications, Felix Kwakye Ofosu, posted that about 129 city buses have arrived in the country to ease recent road transport challenges. They form part of 300 procured for that purpose. Another batch of 100 will arrive in August, and the last batch of 100 arriving in November. And joining us to talk about this is the Managing Director of the Metro Mass Transit Limited, Lawyer Carly Caesar, and he joins us via Zoom on this. Well, we want to find out from him how the buses will be deployed to help with the challenges that commuters had been facing in the capital. So he's on Zoom now. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for joining us here on the program. Right, sir, you'd have to unmute so we can hear you.
Hello.
Right. I can hear you now.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the program. Hello, lawyer.
You didn't see anybody call.
Lawyer, I can hear you. Hello, Lawyer Caesar. Okay, so unfortunately, we are not able to connect with Lawyer Caesar now, but we'll definitely do that as we try and work on the internet and see that he could hear us and then have this conversation. So this has brought a number of conversations where policy persons have been talking about the usage of these EV buses and what it would do. For us, as I mentioned the post from Felix Kwachu Fusu, that the first 100 have arrived. We're expecting about 200 more, 100 coming, and then in November another 100 would come in to make up the number and help solve the issue. You all remember from December to January the challenges that came up in terms of busing in the capital, and so we want to find out from the MD what are the plans for these buses. Lawyer Kali Caesar, good afternoon. Can you hear me now?
Hello.
Yes.
Your voice is too low, please.
Right, I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
I cannot hear you because I can hear you, but very faint.
Okay. So I'm going to try and speak up as we also work on that. I can hear you. Is it fine now?
No, this is still low.
Okay. Right. So we're going to work on that and connect back to the MD of Metromass on this particular topic of the buses that are in and the other 200 that are expected to be in the country. Remember that we were in his office a few weeks ago where we touched on some of the issues for the company and how he's been trying to make sure that those issues are resolved 1 year into the office of being the MD for the company. He talked about a number of things, buses not exactly working. And of course, yesterday I was having a conversation with a friend that a few years ago, when you went to the Kaneshi terminal, there were buses there, Abrepo Junction in Kumasi also. There were buses, enough buses there. The students going to Cape Coast, Takrady and all other places use those buses. Unfortunately, that is not the situation now. He also mentioned the other time that the company had run into a lot of debt, and that has also been a big problem for the company. So we'll try and get back to him and see if he can hear us this time. Lawyer Caesar, can you hear me?
Yes, but I can hear you, but your voice is very faint.
Okay, so I'm going to speak louder so we can have this conversation, right? So I'm asking that from the last time we were there in your office, we had a conversation about the vehicles you mentioned were going to come in. Now we're told that the 100 of the buses have arrived.
Your
what
voice
else
is very faint.
Okay.
Your voice is very
right. We're going to take a quick turn. When we come back, we would restore that and talk to Lawyer Kali Caesar of Metromass. Stay with us.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kelkit Toothpaste. Wow. I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kelkits, happy smile.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy, specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2 and 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties, choice of class.
Hey, Unia, new release in Yana. Kaya gum. A bitino was me new release. Me can no access fit muhono. And na TurboTech Garages Limited. Aquafa besiesi amana aye nitia. Obiasa ya car muno. Accident car no na. TurboTech Garages Limited. Amana se jina ni naso sano. Mesi wo. Womwa kofa broni fita engineer efra brochiraba. And wa check cars no. Na wa hunu baby a fault krowo. And ho spare parts so wa desese. Afenesi road. And so ho charges kakra bi o. TurboTech Garages Limited. Wo ye general servicing. Ebili engine overhauling, engine tuning, oven spraying, general electrical works, air condition installation work, BMU, upholstery, gearbox, make a TurboTech Garages Limited. Apart from sir, car that wotimi ato, and now Toma Wono, was sign importation of cars, and who spare parts, if Rabutreba, Wokoto car mawa, a free. Ace, also what you call TurboTech Garages Limited, our La Paz Malam Road, after Bayard traffic light, wah. Bibiania for 0206 48 17 and 3. And now 0542 96 1111. Website TurboTechGhana.com. TurboTech Garages Limited. Hey, Kaya will be a Benyani. TurboTech Garages Limited. Your car beauty and the.
Welcome back from the break. We're having a conversation earlier with lawyer Kali Caesar, the managing director for Metro Mass Transit Limited, where we're talking about the 100 buses that have arrived in the country to with the transport challenges we're facing in the capital. And he's joined us via Zoom. I believe now he can hear me. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for joining us on the program.
Good afternoon, my brother, and a very good afternoon to all our terrorist viewers across the country and beyond.
Right. A few weeks ago, we were in your office. We had a very great conversation about the state of Metro Mass. And then I remember you talked about some of these buses that they were expecting. Now, the Minister for Government Communications posted 2 days ago that the buses have arrived. What is the process going to be like in terms of, as we say that we want to use these buses to curb the transport challenges in the capital? What's the plan for it?
Yeah, thank you very much, and let me thank you for the opportunity. Well, I think the post you people, everybody saw in the Minister for Communications, posts is true. Over the last week, the 100 buses that we have been talking about arrived. The vendor, I was outside the country when the vendor called me and told me that our buses have already arrived at the port, but they need to go through the processes, the procedure to be able to get them out. As I speak, they haven't finished, clearing them from the port. And so it is not in our custody yet, even though they have been delivered to the country. And so we are waiting for the vendor to complete the custom duties and all those processes before maybe they will be delivered to us, and we'll take it from there. Our plans for having for the bus is clear. We as a company have, a modus operandi in deploying buses. And Metro Mass Company is a company that provides mass transport, both inter and intra. So these buses that are coming are not just earmarked for a particular place, like as somebody will say, oh, we are bringing all of them to Accra here. No, it is not only Accra people who need transport services. You go to Kumasi, you go to Takoradi, and all over the country, everybody needs public, affordable transport system. And so my technical committee is there. They are working on how all these buses will be routed. But it's important to make the point that, as you yourself alluded, this is just the first 100 buses that have arrived. We signed an agreement by the support of essentially the president, with a vendor that is giving us about 300 buses. And so The first have arrived. I know as they've given us the time schedule by August, and then second 100 will arrive, and by November, December, the last 100 will also arrive. And so we're hopeful that we're going to get about 300 fleets from the vendor.
Okay.
Not only these ones passes that we're investing to get. There are other companies we are dealing with, and maybe within the same period we'll be receiving other, fleets. But we want concrete confirmation before we can maybe speak to the public. But what I'm aware is that very soon we're going to get some 100 Dolphin buses too, and all these are, thanks to God, the initiative of His Excellency the President, who has actually throughout guided us and directed us and linked us. And today we are getting all these things to augment the fleet of Metro Mass Transit.
Okay, so these buses are EV buses?
No, they are fossil fuel.
Okay.
diesel.
Right, okay. So I just asked that just to be clear. I think that I must have seen something like that about some EV buses there. But what is for this first 100, as you mentioned, it's not just Accra that we have these transport challenges. For these first 100 buses, is the target first for intra, looking at inside Accra and all of that before maybe the others will go outside of Accra?
As I said, we have 16 administrative regions. Currently, we have official branches in 10 of them. The other 6, we are, trying to see how best we'll have our branches there anyway. But the most important aspect of it is that these buses are going to be deployed. And it's not going to be just one place. For instance, if we deploy a number of them in Greater Accra here, obviously some will be going to the other regions or the other districts. And definitely some will also be within. And so my operational department will come out with the routing plans. And every Ghanaian definitely will benefit from it. But it's not like we are going to just keep everything in Greater Accra here, especially the metropolitan, district. And my brother, let me make this point. Many people are not aware that it's not about the number of buses that may come. It's about how disciplined we ourselves are in terms of how we are using, the roads. You see, Greater Accra has a bigger population. And the way things are done, if we don't have a comprehensive conversation as to how we structure the transport system within the metropolis, we can bring 1,000 buses and station them in Accra here, and still we'll have problem. The fact is that the private cars and rigid cars that pour into the business center are too many. So when that happens, it creates a congestion. When the congestion comes, if a particular bus is supposed to be routed and go twice or thrice, it cannot. Because of the traffic, it may be able to eventually make one trip. And these are some of the setbacks to efficient and effective transport system within the metropolis. So I have said that definitely we'll speak to His Excellency through my ministry so that there could be an interministerial conversation on how to properly structure our urban transport system. You see, the BRT that we have abandoned is something that could have solved some of the problems for us. But unfortunately, the BRT system, when the SY government came, they abandoned it. We remember it was initiated during the NDC time, during His Excellency President Mahama's time. When MBB came, we thought that they would have continued, and today it would have actually changed the narrative as we are seeing today. And so we need to revisit that comprehensive strategy to see how we can deploy urban transport system, both for government and the private sector. If we don't do that, and we bring so many buses, still we'll have the problem. Because from here to Kaswa, it takes a long time for a bus to get to its destination. So before it will want to come back, it is late. And so, but I think that if we have the properly, routed BRT system, it will solve this kind of situation we are facing.
Right.
So, in as much as His Excellency and government is so passionate about effective and efficient transport system, we need a bigger conversation. There should be discipline on our road. People should be prepared to also join, the public transport en route to the central business town. But if everybody wants to bring his private car, if that incentive is there for everybody to one person coming and going forward and going back, it will create that congestion. And when that congestion is there, transport system breaks down and there's no efficiency, there's no effectiveness.
Right. On social media, and for many of us, the concern when it comes to Metromass has to do with maintenance of buses. Now, we're excited that these buses are coming in. We have the 100 coming in and then the others that will follow later. The concern is, how are we going to make sure that we maintain these buses and keep them running for many years to come? I mean, of course, from your quarters as the Metromass company, and of course, from the quarters of citizens who get into these buses and, right here, put this here, and at the end of the day, tend to break some things in the buses. What's the plan for that?
Well, thank you so much. We, as a company, we really have a comprehensive maintenance workshops across the 10 regional branches that we have, and even some of the hubs and other branches. As I speak, currently, if we look at our workshops, they are by far the biggest workshops you can find within the transport companies.
Mm.
And so we know maintenance actually bring a huge cost to the company as far as the operations of the buses are concerned. And so over the years, our company has been making the effort to ensure that maintenance culture is maintained. And so having lost sight of this, it means that these buses that are coming, we've really already planned how they will be maintained to make them well, effective, and efficient. And so we and the vendors have an agreement that they themselves are going to help us, at least for the maintenance of these buses for the first year. They will be bringing, some of their experts, engineers as part of their sales service, after sales service, take our engineers here through so that they will acclimatize the maintenance of these buses. And trust me, for me, maintenance of the vehicles are very, very high on our agenda, because if we don't do that, then of course your buses will always be breaking down. You cannot make the needed revenue to be able to service whatever costs that these buses are bringing in.
Okay, so on that matter, does it mean that these buses coming in are people here going through to learn about the buses, so that if there's any problem, we do not have to get them from abroad or have people come in to? What's the plan with that also?
Yeah, these are Isuzu brand, and the Isuzu brand are not so much different from many of the buses that we have. And so already our engineers around at least have the know-how in repairing general maintenance of these buses, like changing of oil, filter, and all those kinds of things. Those particular maintenance culture, they know it.
Okay.
Now, if it's in respect to the engine, as I said, once they'll be taken through how to maintain some parts of the engine, at least we are very sure that it won't be much a problem. The only thing is that to let many of our engineers get to know how some of those problems could easily be fixed, if it's electronic, if it's manual. But mind you, these buses are not Euro 5 or Euro 4, where maybe you expect so much electronics. No, this is Euro 3. So at least it's quite robust. These buses are not using air suspension. They are using spring suspension. And so, which are very, very, in tandem with our terrain and the type of buses we need to be using.
Right. When it comes to issues like this, procurement is one of the things that come up. And as I met you the other time, we had conversations about procurement breaches, in some of the past administrations. What has been done about that also?
Oh, the procurement procedures have all been followed. And remember, this is a private vendor that has procured these buses, for us, with government seriously in support. And so we've gone through all the procurement routes. That's why the delivery perhaps have delayed, because you have to go to PPP, you have to go to Ministry of Finance for authorization, and go to PPP for them, PPA rather, for them to also give us the go ahead. And our board have certified it. And so we have gone through all the necessary protocols as far as procurement is concerned.
And in terms of revenue, everything goes to government?
Oh, see, when we say government, it's not like you are paying everything to Consolidated Fund. No. This is a government company. Metro Mass is a limited liability company, with the government having 45%. Then other government institutions holding the rest. You have ADB, you have NIB, you have GWEL, you have SIC holding shares. And so technically, you can say that it's government. And so we operate these buses, then try to settle all our debts and all those things. At the end of the year, there's profit. The profits definitely will be declared. And if dividends must be paid to these companies, they are paid to these companies. Still going to those government companies. However, it's not like other a situation where it is wholly owned by government. And even if it's even wholly owned by government, still, it will go to a certain account that will be used to surround the whole business, and maybe at the end of the year, something is paid to a consolidated fund.
Okay.
But this one, as I've told you, we have government institutions holding shares in it. So if they see the dividends, it goes to those companies, and it is still indirectly part of the government revenue.
Right. If you just tune in, we're speaking with the Managing Director for Metro Mass Transit Limited on the 100 buses that have arrived in the country for operations. He's touched on a number of things. Now, we understand that this should be forming part of the company's operations in terms of getting into the 24-hour system. Talk to us about that also.
Yes. I think that, as you are aware, His Excellency has already passed the 24-hour economy bill into law. And as I indicated to you at that time, all over the world, transport services serve as the biggest anchor to any economic growth, especially in terms of commercial activities. And so with the 24-hour economy implementation, it means that we need an efficient and effective transport system to serve as the major anchor. And that's why when His Excellency appointed me and my deputies to come and superintend over the activities of the company, he told us that, look, he's so passionate about the public transport system, because if we did not have the needed machinery or the proper management of these transport outfits, the 24-hour economic policy may not thrive well. Because when people go to work or people go to trade, do have their commercial activities, and they are supposed to go home late in the night, if there's no any efficient or effective transport system, it means that the next time they will not do that. And so we, as a company, having this in mind, we are working tirelessly to also attract even other vendors, give us much of the equipment that we need, so that we can really actually anchor the 24-hour economy policy very well, so that when many of these buckets are now in place across the country, the general public or the commuters will now be sure that, oh, if I go to any place in the wee night, in the wee hours of the night to do commercial activities, I can go back home with a sure transport system available. And so that one we know is a challenge for us. That's why we send warning signals to many of the private people who are actually encroaching on our terminals that very soon when we get the needed, cars available, we'll kickstart 24 hours transport services operation.
Okay, right. So in terms of modernizing what Metromass has been doing over the years, and in fact, the state at which you mentioned that you came to meet it, and with these new buses coming in with the new face, to it, what should we be looking out for in terms of professionalism, in terms of all of these things that we have talked about, so that we can say that, well, this is the Metromass that we know?
Yes, in terms of upscaling our services to the general public, the first issue on our table is to ensure that we have modern terminals. And so as we speak, we are in conversation with some prospective vendors who will be helping us, especially to build our headquarters here to a modern transport terminal that befits at least our statutes. We are also looking at some of our major terminals across the country, building new terminals. And we believe that the Ghanaian passengers or commuters deserve best. And so that's high on our agenda. Another point is that we are actually going cashless. We are automating our services. That a time will come, people may not have to go to the terminal to buy their tickets. You just sit at your comfort zone. If you have your phone, you just go to the app, book for your tickets, you get a time and everything. Apart from that, we are also training by taking our workers, especially the drivers and the conductors, through the modern way of handling passengers in terms of customer service. All these are issues that some commuters or some passengers have been on, in the past year. And we are assuring everybody that we will be training our conductors. Currently, as we speak, there are some of them who are undergoing training with the drivers, and all these things are being pointed out to them, how they can offer their services to ensure that our passengers get, the needed satisfaction of the services. Aside this too, we are also ensuring that at least the parcel and the cargo, we are going to provide parcel and cargo services. Many people always, unfortunately, when they get to the terminal, the bus may be full, the boots of the buses may not be able to carry their goods or their cargo parcel. And their parcels will have to delay for about days. All this will become a challenge. But as we speak, we are also in a conversation with a vendor who will be giving us cargo trucks to enhance our cargo services. And so there are far-reaching plans to ensure that we have scaled the services of Metro Mass Transit to at least a standard that everybody will love.
Right. Talking about standards, is it with these buses that we're going to have the tap and go?
Yes. All the buses are going to operate under a tap and go solution, so that they won't be cashless, they won't be cash exchanging hands. But that's where Plefren comes in. And this company, in fact, our company has survived over the years because of the physical cash that conductors collect. But now, if it is through an electronic means, it means that the passenger only need to go and buy his or her card, load the money on it, and when he comes, there's a POS system where he swipes, or where the tap and go system is used to collect the money. And when that happens, the company revenue will increase. Through the peripheral or collection of physical cash, many of our workers are able to package some of the money. So all these are things that we are putting in place to ensure that it becomes a thing of the past. And I believe it won't take time. We'll get there.
Right.
Because our cashless system is almost 100%.
So Ghanaians should brace themselves up for tap and go, where if you're getting onto a Metromax bus, you wouldn't need any cash. You just need to probably put it on a card and just...
And even outside that, the buses we are bringing are of higher standard because this time around, we are not bringing any bus without air condition. All our buses are going to have air condition. They're going to have charging ports within them. So if you are traveling from here to Aflao and your phone battery is down, then it means that you can charge it as you go along. There will be screen inside where some advertisement can be shown. So as commuters, as passengers, they can enjoy their eyes by looking at what is on the market and also, entertaining themselves. So the buses are actually quite modern. It won't be our old traditional coaches. This time around, if anybody gets to the terminal, because they are 29-seater, within no time, the bus may be full and you will take off. Not necessarily going to spend hours and hours before the bus will take off. So these are some of the comfort we've actually created for our passengers. And I believe when our EV buses also come, it is going to be the same.
Great. So in this case, are we looking forward to some more personnel coming in terms of employment? Is there something like that?
Oh, sure. More personnel. Once the buses are coming, more drivers will be repeated. And as I say, it's ongoing. Because if we don't get the needed number of drivers, then who is going to operate the machines? So definitely we are recruiting, drivers and conductors, and some mechanics to come and help sustain the pressure that may come thereon.
And then you mentioned the other time that drivers will be signing a document. I believe that's what you mentioned.
Yeah, we said that our drivers will be signing a performance contract. You see, many of the drivers, when you pick them, some of them are so careless that because they know it is not their personal cars, they drive just anyhow, even though you have given them all the skills. And apart from that, even in terms of revenue mobilization, they will sign a performance contract to ensure that they hit a certain target. Else, because we are going to ensure that they have a very good, remuneration. If the package is attractive, how are we going to make it attractive? By ensuring that the needed revenue is mobilized within the month and within the period. And so all our drivers, of course, are going to sign a performance contract, just like how we are signing a performance contract with the government.
Okay, right. So as the buses are in now, we understand officials are supposed to go to the Tema port, including yourself, later this week to ascertain or to inspect the buses, that everything is in shape for us to, take flight on a new flight with the Metromax Transit. Ghanaians are watching. What's the like I told you the other time? It's always been Metromax, but over the years we've had a few issues with that. Ghanaians are watching now, excited about this news. What would you say to them as the MD of this company?
Yeah, I must say that yes. Well, we are also excited because a company that used to boast of over 1,000 fleets or 1,000 buses today cannot boast of up to even 120. So these numbers that are coming, we believe they are coming to augment the shortfall, and Ghanaians should keep on, praying for us. We are at their service. As His Excellency, the President, continue to direct, continue to advise, and also link us, we believe that by the end of the year, we're going to get the needed, buses as we visit to get. And remember, I told you the other time that we think that by the end of the year, we should be able to get about 1,000 buses. And when we get 1,000 buses, all Ghanaians all over the country will enjoy Metromax new and updated services across the country.
Right. MD, are we to expect any increase fares? Because we're seeing some fares being increased from other places. Is this something we should be looking forward to?
You see, well, definitely, whenever we get into such situations, we will be speaking. I'll be speaking with my minister, Honorable Joseph Bukari. The ministry superintendent over the activities of Metro Mass. Metro Mass was actually set up as a pro social intervention company to pushing the general public. So rather over the years, when the general public, when the transport fares are going up and the private vendors are increasing their fares, we cannot, because we need to ensure that we provide affordable bus services to the majority of Ghanaians who are the pro. And so first increment can come in when we have a very comprehensive discussions with our ministry. The ministry will be telling us what to do. But as new buses coming in, yes, definitely on many of the routes, even if we increase fares, it will not be like the private vendor. It will not be like what OA or what VIP or what GPR people are actually collecting. Ours will always be down, just to help pushing the marginalized, just pushing the poor, Ghanaian.
Okay, right. Lawyer Kali Caesar, thank you very much for speaking to us this afternoon. He is the managing director for Metro Mass Transit Limited, speaking to us about the newly acquired 100 fleet of vehicles, in fact 100 that have arrived at the Tema port, and we're expecting some others by the end of the year. About 1,000 vehicles should come in for the Metro Mass Transit Limited, speaking to us there about employment. He says that that's underway. Drivers and conductors will be coming in. Drivers will be signing performance contracts so that they can keep the cars in shape. In fact, he's talked about engineers being abreast with the vehicles that are coming in and to take care of them very well. He's talked about procurement issues that, well, they've gone through all the procurement processes. And so, in fact, that is what has caused the delay of the vehicles coming in, and says that everything is clear for the Metro Mass Transit Company or Limited to be revamped and get it as Ghanaians know. So thank you very much for speaking to us there. So there you heard it about the conversation, of course, about Metro Mass. We're keeping tabs on that as the officials go and inspect the vehicles at the ports. Earlier we talked about the LGBTQ plus issues from the NPP, and where we had the Member of Parliament for Asin South, that is Reverend Tim Fojo, speaking at that presser and accusing the president and his government of, backtracking on their words and all of that. So really, those are the conversations that we were having. I see MD is still on. MD, any other thing you want to touch on quickly before we wrap up on the show? Or we've touched on everything? Okay, I think that that's it for the conversation this afternoon on Good Afternoon Ghana. Well, he says that Ghanaians should watch out for a new Metro Mass, and so would look forward to that. And this is where we draw the curtains on today's show. But before I go, I want to say belated birthday to my brother Dominic Opoku-Boakye of the University of Development Studies, UDS in Tamale. Yesterday was your birthday. Happy birthday going out to you. So, right, do want to stay with us right here on Metro TV and log on to our website, www.metrotvonline.com, and of course on our social media platforms, Facebook, Metro TV Ghana, on Instagram also. We are on X. Do well to join us on there, and of course on 94.1 FM on radio. Talking about birthdays, yesterday was the birthday of our News and Operations Manager, Akwesi Efriye, as you see him on Good Afternoon Ghana. Yesterday was his birthday. Happy birthday to you, sir. God bless you as you celebrate your birthday, or you celebrated yesterday, and we pray for God's blessings and guidance for you, Akwesi Efriye. From all of us here from Ignite Media, from the newsroom, from the programs department, from everywhere, every department will say that happy birthday or belated one going out to you. So many thanks for watching the show. My name is Desmond Okrekudan. So connect with me on our social media. In fact, on my social media pages, Desi the Starboy on all platforms. Many thanks to the production team, Eugenia, Akofa, Kumi, Derek, Adote, leading the production, and the rest of the guys in the control room. Many thanks for watching the show. We're back tomorrow, same time, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Bye.
Morning Ghana, wake up to the big matters of the nation with Moro Awudu.
Good morning, welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television.
You left power at a time when you couldn't feel second to speak.
I have my standards, you have your standards.
No, I'm never going to tell you for a second.
Every morning, live on Metro TV.
If we don't do it, our energy sector will collapse and we'll be in the darkness. And it is actually going to cost us more to be in the darkness. You lost me about 2 terms back.
2025 all the way to 2028. That's the meaning of it. Because the government says that they are extending that tax. What is sensitivity? And that's of President Mahama and Honorable Dr. Atifoso. I'm committed.
Unfiltered insights, groundbreaking perspectives.
Expenditure is key, but you can't spend money, don't have the money.
We go again next day. Good morning, Ghana.
Banty, why you there? One lie, tell her today go give me my money.
Oh my guy, what's up? Oba unze me dinner dede baby. Scano ASA 500 cedis per. Ah.
I see. Level don't change. But to show me the way.
But there's some sorry Amanua. Talk to babe.
¿Quieres Ghana dinero?
Huh?
Cash, cash.
Yes, cash.
Let me show you the easy way to make money with One Chat. Visit the WannaOwn website at wannaown.us. Sign up with your phone number and get ready to play. Select games on the homepage and then select One Shot Game. Deposit to make an entry, then pick a number from 0 to 99. If your number comes up, you win a cool 500 cedis.
Hey, so it'll be easy like that.
Just like that.
So I'll go buy my dream car.
Por supuesto. Just visit wannaown.us and win some cool cash prizes.
It's Bemi. Boom!
You need too much.
Play responsibly. Gaming can be addictive. Accredited and endorsed by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Your world, your stories, your moment.
Welcome to Metro TV.
From breaking news to uncovering the facts of the story. Breathtaking events, mouth-watering trends, and unstoppable entertainment, all in one place. From the banks and corporate institutions to shows that tell you all about the economy. Checking your pulse and keeping a steady heartbeat. Stories of love to blockbuster drama. From crazy fans and hats-pounding sports, we bring you shows and events the whole family loves. This is Metro TV, where every moment matters. Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Every Thursday morning, the spirit of the school come alive. From the marching bands to the dining halls, the fear and the panic stories, the convoys to old students' pride, to unforgettable homecoming moments. Metro TV brings you the school's homecoming show live. Relive the glory, celebrate the legacies, reconnect with the memories that shape legends like you, the celebrations, the anniversaries, the homecoming activities, and the legacy projects that you embark in your school. The Metro TV School's Homecoming Show comes to you every Thursday from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. live on Metro TV. This is the School's Homecoming Show live on Metro TV.
What at all does he see in her that he's not seeing in me? Look at me!
Eugene and Anekia made their choice.
You won't believe what Pam and Anekia have done to me.
Abstain.
Why abstain? I have been seeing through your shenanigans all night.
I thought I told you that I didn't want to see that girl in this house again.
I'm sorry, Cinnamon.
Lost. I've won the battle. Get over it.
Battle?
Why me? I like you very much. That's why I brought you this.
Protect me?
Yes, I'm ready to listen to you.
Eugene Clark. That boy. That womanizer.
You are old enough. I would like you to man up to choose amongst these two. Now, the baby is baby. So you are coming to come and see.
Sometimes I just sit and then regret what really happened.
Take care to prevent pregnancy.
Just stop it. They have to pay for what they've done to me.
Be ready for the storm coming up for you. The revenge is not necessary.
Welcome to Junction 5 Lounge.
Bar,
Grill, chill.
You know, say me the Lord for the whole area. We don't control every street for here. My name is Lord Gaza.
Lord Gaza.
You don't hear they mix liquor and things. I beg you, if you do what? If you gather some vim in the bar, otherwise, I think gather boys, you are bad by the flu. I see.
Landlord, I beg, this one, I beg you for understanding color. As young people, you need to be able to make decisions that will better your lives.
If you give this money to me, I would have bought you nice clothes, like look nice, change my nails, like.
On the best you left me as a hey, it is so much God that answer prayers.
Nanama Ejewa, is this the class you're supposed to be taking?
Please.
Nanama,
please,
is this really happening? What be the source of your word? What's the source of your poverty?
Are you bad days? Coconut. Are you bad days? Coconut that.
Fast. Point of correction. I know be Lord Gaza anymore. If you call me Yao. Oh, Brian. Hey, all this we should call you this one. Brian for where?
Well, I'm done, Senna. Hey, Senna, what I'm doing there? You can't see me. Your lounge has been placed at number 10. But after today,
number
I think,
10?
Yeah. After today, I think I'll place you guys at number 5. depending on the taste of your food. Yes.
When Jean is scared about a child and say, okay, you're thinking about what? What is going on with you?
You know one thing, you guys are so incompetent these days. Look here, I'm talking to you, you know that's the truth.
Supplies! You're surprised I've surprised you.
Lord Gaza. M-H-O-V-E. Lord Gaza.
Basu and boss will they come?
I say you did lie.
Me are the lie.
You did lie.
How the girl feel you?
From finding your dream home to building a legacy for your family, the Homeowner Show has been your trusted guide.
How sure are you what you're getting is the right land? And it has to do with search